time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
And welcome to another edition of the Qatar podcast, where we do comic reviews, watch alongs, some political shits, and you know, welcome to the show. And before we start the the watch along, we're in the road to 500 subs, and currently we're in 478 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, guys, and I hope you people who are still not subscribed will continue to support this channel. And yes, replay crew are most welcome. Life's blood, man, life's blood. And we got Sin Havoc in the chat. Good evening, good morning, Qatar. Yep, good evening, good morning, Sin. Welcome to the show. And today we're gonna feature Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Gahul, the movie, the animated movie made by uh, Zack Snyder. So, Legend of the Guardians, Owl of Gahul, was released in 2010, sandwiched between Watchmen from 2009 and Sucker Punch 2011. So, at first glance, it seems like an outlier of Snyder's body of work, but upon closer examination, it carries many of his signature themes: mythic storytelling, slow motion action, dark undertones, and a deep exploration of heroism. So, this is based on Kathryn Lasky's Guardian of the Gahul book series. The film brings an unexpected level of gravitas to what could have been just another animated adventure. And let's start the ball rolling in five. Make sure you have Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Gahul on your player. Four, three, two, and one. Play. Mm-hmm. Yes. And yes, thanks, Sin. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Yep. From Warner Brothers Pictures, a Time Warner company. Village Roadshow Pictures. This is an awesome animated feature movie. The owl looks cool. All right. One of the film's most striking elements is its visual splendor. Animated by Animal Logic, the studio behind Happy Feet and later the Lego movie, the film's depiction of Owls is hyper-realistic yet expressive. Feathers, light, and atmospheric effects are meticulously crafted, making this one of the most visual, stunning animated films of its time. Snyder's signature slow motion action sequences make their way into the film, and they fit perfectly within the aerial combat uh, between the owls. The way he choreographs flight and combat feels like 300, but in an animated avian form. The depth of field, use of light, reflections of feathers, and the way embers and sparks fly during the battle sequences create a sense of epic grandeur. One outstanding One standout sequence is when Soren, the protagonist, takes flight through a storm. It's not only breathtaking but also emotionally charged, perfectly illustrating his growth as a hero. So, just to sync up, our time stamp is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Nothing wrong with dreams, of course. There's nothing wrong with dreams. The film was written by John Orloff and Emil Stern and features the voices of Helen Mirren, Geoffrey Rush, Jim Sturgess, Hugo Weaving, Emily Barclay, Abbie Cornish, Ryan Kwanten, Anthony LaPaglia, Miriam Margolyes, Sam Neill, Richard Roxburgh, and David Wenham. This is a cool anime. In its core, At its core, Legends of the Guardian is about heroism and myth making. Soren, the young barn owl, grows up hearing tales of the legendary guardians, warriors who stand for truth and justice. His brother, Clud, however, represents skepticism and cynicism, aligning himself with the tyrannical Metal Beak and the Pure Ones, a fascist owl society that believes in superior bloodlines. Hmm, sounds very familiar. This sets up one of Snyder's recurring themes, the clash between idealism and realism. Soren believes in legends, while Clud dismisses them as fairy tales. Yet, by the end, Soren becomes the legend, proving that myth has the power to inspire and shape reality. There's also a dark undercurrent throughout the film. The pure one's philosophy eerily resembles fascist ideology, emphasizing purity and dominance over perceived lesser owls. This makes a surprisingly mature and intense story for an animated family film. The brainwashing of young owlets, the cruelty of Metal Beak, and the themes of betrayal and war make this feel much heavier than the average children's movie. Very cool animation. Yeah. Okay. Soren follows the traditional hero's journey, the call to adventure. He dreams of the guardians but is skeptical they exist. The betrayal. Claude, his own brother, joins the pure ones. The journey. Soren and his companions seek the guardians. The revelation. The legends are real and he must rise to defend them. And the final battle. Soren takes on Metal Beak, proving himself a true guardian. The film also delivers strong side characters like Esilerib, Esili, wow, can't pronounce this. A battle-hardened mentor voiced by Geoffrey Rush, who embodies the reality of war and the cause of heroism. His dynamic with Soren is similar to Snyder's interpretations of Batman in BVS, a hardened warrior passing wisdom to the next generations. However, the film's biggest weakness is its pacing and character depth because it condones uh, it condenses multiple books into one film. Some emotional beats don't land as hard as they could. Claude's betrayal, for instance, feels rushed, and Metal Beak, while visually imposing, doesn't get much screen time to establish his menace. Okay. Nice uh, observation. If there's one thing Snyder excels at, it's epic action. And despite being an animated film about owls, Legend of the Guardians does not hold back. The flight choreography and mid-air battles have a weight and intensity rarely seen in animated films. The use of slow motion in combat paired with an epic orchestral score makes each clash feel monumental. One particular standout fight is Soren's final battle with Metal Beak. It's staged it's staged like a classic Zack Snyder duel, complete with dramatic pauses, brutal hits, and a climactic finishing move. All right, finish him. Man, this movie is so cool. And so did you guys see this? I'm going to share something. Let's present this. Share screen. Are you seeing this? Let's make this bigger. Oh boy. So they're planning. Are they really planning to do the authority with Zack Snyder directing it? Oh boy. This picture of James Gunn and Zack. I don't know, man. Is this a cry for help for Gunny Poo? Is this is from a tweet from Andy Bevact. Since we know Snyder versus never coming back, if Zack Snyder is being recruited for the DCU, please tell me it's for the authority because this would be golden. So basically, when did these people s- suddenly like Zack Snyder, right? Man, that's when did these people like Zack Snyder? I don't know. What's the current narrative now? Man. And we have DC Talk in this chat. You didn't start yet. I started it at 9. The main. It's I started earlier because I have somewhere to go in a while before 11 in the morning. Good morning, DC Talk 82. The main. Our timestamp. Let's see our timestamp. 14 minutes and 20 seconds in into the film. Yes. Man, this talk about Zack Snyder doing the authority feels like an act of desperation for Gunny Poo. Honestly, honestly, it is a sign of desperation. This movie is so cool. So how this film fits into Snyder's larger themes. While Legend of the Guardians may not be the first film people think of when discussing Zack Snyder's filmography, it actually aligns with many of his core thematic obsessions. The burden of myth, like Superman and Man of Steel, Soren struggles with the weight of the legends he idolizes. The fallibility of heroes, the guardians, while noble, are not invincible, much like the Justice League. A dark, visceral aesthetic. Despite being a family film, it has a mature, almost operatic tone. And last redemption through heroism, the idea that one individual can rise above darkness to embody hope. One could even argue that this film was Snyder's test run for what he would later explore with Superman and Man of Steel. Soren and Superman both undergo a similar journey, starting as believers in an idealized myth, facing disillusionment and ultimately choosing to embody that myth. DC Talk says, I think the haters just saying anything now. True, that's true. And how far are they with the other owls yet? They kidnapped the owls. Man, is this good or what? This film is supposed to be kid friendly, right? Excuse me. And Sinavok says, let them hate. Yep, let them hate. I'm gonna share another picture. This time it's this time it's a tweet from Leon of the New Geeks. He says that makes two moments in over 2 decades. They're best friends, guys. Relax. Unless they sell Snyderverse to Netflix or bring back Zack, I'm still not watching that effing movie. Ah, dala. Man, that sucks. And DC Talk says, I guess they forgot what Batfleck said. Yeah, they forgot 100% facts. Yeah. Batfleck said, uh, no way, no way, Gunny Poo. Man, they're all over the internet promoting a freaking narrative that seems to praise Zack Snyder's movie nowadays. Gone are all the haters, or are they just covering up something? Man, man, this film is so cool. Owls are featured heavily. Man. Okay, let's continue. So, the final verdict. This is a hidden gem in Zack Snyder's career. Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole is an underrated Snyder film that deserves more recognition. While it suffers from some pacing issues and a lack of deep character exploration, it makes up for the stunning visuals, exhilarating action, and surprisingly rich thematic roles. For Snyder fans, it's fascinating to see his style translated into animation, and it proves that even in a kid's movie, he can craft something epic, dark, and inspiring. Okay, my rating is 8 over 10. The pros are visually breathtaking animation, mythic storytelling with mature themes, intense action sequences with Snyder's signature style, and strong world building. There are a few cons: the facing issue due to book condensation, and some characters, especially villains, lack depth. Right, that's it. Sin Havoc says they can't help themselves. Zack and Ben are close. You think Zack is gone take notes from Gun? I think not. Demain. Come on, DC Talk. Tell them facts straight in their faces. The pure ones. Our timestamp is 22 minutes and 40 seconds. This movie is really cool. And DC Talk says Zack won't compromise without a deal. That's true. Everyone. And, Zack's signature, never compromise, even in the face of danger. That's Zack for you. It's weird how it's raining for days now. And it's nearly March. So the summer is almost here in the Philippines. But we still have rains and cold weather. Is it the effect of the planetary alignment, or the Earth is going farther in the in the solar alignment, in the solar lines? Not yet, DC Talk. I think I'm in the part. My timestamp is 24 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the owls talking about something. I think this is the training part of the owls. Yep, they're training. Sinavok, what have you to say all about this? Yes, Sin, what's your say? I also pick up something nasty for Johnny Poo. The flop keeps on coming. Basically, this is a tweet from Man of Steel. Breaking news. James Gunn's Superman just had another test screening, and the reactions were usually negative, and with many comparing it to Joss Trank's Fantastic Four. Reportedly, WB and DC Studios are very bearish on the movie. They know that this movie, Superman L, will flop hard. It's gonna be the flop of the year. Flop after flop.
You see this all the time at the level of the top producer, who, between them or separately, will make flop after flop after flop after flop. I'm not going to name them, but I know who they are. And they're not all American either. And they still get paid huge sums of money for being in films that nobody wants to see. And producers make pictures out of which they take enormous sums of money. And the films, again, are not films people want to see. They're always going to blame somebody else. Always. Not their fault. No, 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 you were the one who said, or whatever. And there's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
We see it all the time. Man. The flop continues, flop after flop. Sin Havoc says, incoming flop. Superman L is gonna flop after flop after flop. Upward failure. You see it all the time. Yes, we see it all the time. I think they're in panic mode. Those people in WBD and DC Studios. Uh, and they use their Zack Snyder card with within the second month of the year. Imagine that. The the Snyder card. They always use the Snyder card if they feel like their movies are gonna flop after flop. DC Talk says about Zack and Gunn picks. I mean, is there something to it, or was Zack there to see Mike and Pam for the 300 prequel series for WB Studios? Well, Sin, do you have a response to that? I don't know, man. I really don't know. And WB slash DC Studios are in a pickle. Yeah. They don't know what to do. The test screenings have all failed. So everyone knows a flop is coming. Everything from uh, Shaq O'Neal's commercial to man, Guy Gardner's shitty ad. It's all, I think it's karma. The scripture that said, "Do unto others what you uh, what others don't do to you," is true, man. Sin Havoc answered Demain. A picture is shown and everyone's reactions are ridiculously hysterical. Well, I think the picture serves its purpose. It still experiencing weird weather down here in the Philippines. Yeah, yeah, DC talk. That's it. The white owl is one racist owl. The guardians, the pure ones. This has all the markings of evil Nazis or Sino superiority. DC Talk says Zack didn't even acknowledge that pic. Man, Sin Havoc says so many reactions, so little time. Well, that shit happens when it's all flop and no all flop and no substance. Man, flop after flop after flop. Upward failure. You see it all the time. DC Talk said they had another screening that went bad. Yeah, that was the picture that was the picture I shared. Man, no one is enjoying Corin Sweat as Superman. It was a mistake to fire Henry Cavill as Superman. It was a mistake to have James Gunn as DC studio head. No, no, no. Thanks, Sin. Yeah, I still have something sneezing still. So, like what I said earlier, the phasing of this film, that's a, that's a con. But the phasing issue is only due to the condensation of the book. It would have been better if they did a multi-part Guardians of Gahul uh, movies, films. Sin Havoc says Gunn's been plotting for 20 plus years. What did you expect? Ever since he was booted out of Dawn of the Dead, he's been plotting something. Oh man. The narrative is always that him and Gunny Poo are friends. But to think of it, well, as I observe from the last 20 years, Gunny Poo and Zack Snyder do have similar audiences. Quote me on that. Then I'll hide. I'll hide my head and duck very hard. Timestamp is 36 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm using an old player over it's lookmovie.com or what? Wait, lookmovie2.to. This site has no pirated stuff, so you can't watch any pirated movie here. DC Talk 82 said WBD might as well call it quits on this film and put it on Max in July. There was this parody account that says on July 18th it will be available on digital. It's you see how they support Gunn and his shit movies. It would have been better if Gunn was really sorry for everything he did and he said and he showed, but no, pedo gun is still pedo gun. I don't know why. I think the whole Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy plus the Christmas special are all fluke. But he can't break the 1 billion mark. He can't even break the the numbers for uh, BVS. No, he can't break that. Even in July, I'll rather watch One Punch Dan than Diaper Man. But One Punch Dan may or may not hit the deadline. We'll see, but we still support Zod Writer and the crew for the film One Punch Dan coming this year. So Zack Snyder did the musical numbers for the owl. Amazingly, this animation style is very good. Yeah, that was the rumor, Demain, a week after its release, which is crazy if that is even true. But I don't think Max will have enough subscription because everyone who likes Max has already subscribed uh, from HBO since the Snyder Cut was released in 2021. That's the only reason why I got HBO and later Max was uh, because of the Snyder Cut. But the quality dropped they chose when HBO/Max chose Peacemaker and Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, man, Creature Commandos. Those are, ugh, nope. Not crazy about those films and series. DC Talk says that's 2 days after its release. Doesn't Superman L release on the 16th? Well, let's check this out. When will Superman L be released? Let's check this out. It will be released in the US on July 11th. Uh, s- uh, July 11, the main. That's when it will be released in the US. It could be released earlier or later in other territories, but I think this time it's what the hell? The international the global audience outside the US will probably carry this film, in my opinion. Yes, in Havoc. If this film earns at least 400 million in the box office, then it will have Aquaman 2 numbers. But in truth, man, uh, James Gunn sabotage uh, the DC movies, especially the last four films of 2023. DC Talk says Zack is not gone directing C-list characters. Yeah, he won't be directing C because whenever you're starting a universe, cinematic universe, you have to use the big guns. You have to. It's not like a Marvel film where it's. I think the Marvel heroes are although good characters are not that legendary and mythical, unlike the DC characters. So Sora has met the Guardians. Nice. Timestamp is 46 minutes and 10 seconds. DC Talk says crazy. Like I said, this movie is doomed. Yep, it's gonna flop. Sin Havoc. Lately, they've been using Y and Z list characters. Yeah, bottom of the barrel. They're using the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, flopped. Everything flopped. Man, they're in some sort of island. There's this tweet where who's answering my tweet on X. Man, babies don't understand that. This one-eyed Jeff says, and you never understood Superman at all. Of course, I understand who Superman was. All, all, all the Superman uh, wannabe fans just know advertising. Like, remember in the 70s, Superman used to promote kids stuff. That's what they remember. Freaking ass shits. You see this all the time. They mad to the guardians. Yeah, man. I think I got to them again. You're gonna share this. One eye Jeff. What a dick. I wonder if this guy understands Superman. I think what they understand about Superman is all those commercials in the comics, all those uh, advertising for the United Nations and stuff. They don't understand the stories. That's what I think about them. Freaking dicks. Yeah, they Sinavok says they're definitely in panic mode. Yep. Hashtag panic mode begins. Yeah, they're in panic mode, and that's why a small uh, uh, YouTube channel like mine is having these kinds of man, this kind of engagement on Twitter X. Absolutely correct, Qatar. Of course, I'm right. I'm correct. 100% Sinavo. And of course, we were right all along, ever since Superman L was being made. We were right all along. Dickheads. This is a light moment for a Zack Snyder film with the music. The music at the 52 minutes and 55-second mark. Hashtag we were right. Yeah. We are, of course, uh, Mikey verse forever fans. So definitely we're right because this movie was really designed for kids, but the themes are mature. And I think Zach uh, made sure that even kids understood the message. Yes, Mikey was right. MV forever. Mikey verse forever. Yeah. Imagine Mikey Sutton is still has all those scoops from beyond the grave. Man, shout out to the Syndicate Network. Shout out to the executive branch. Shout out to the cool table. Eh, Mikey verse forever. Man, the principle of the strong will rule the weak is so Darwin, Darwinism. Man, the pure one strength, Nazi, Nazi like. Zack Snyder's thematic uh, stories all have basic good versus evil. Gun's shit is always clouded in a, it's blurred in the cloud of haze. If you watch the movie Brightburn, no, that's his take on Superman, Superboy. Also, Gunn did the Scooby Doo fans a great disservice. That's the kind of film that Gunny Poo excels in. All his movies are trashy, X-rated bullshit. and the way he mistreated Nicole Perlman and in doing the first Guardians of the Universe. It's nope, not for me. I think Marvel was compromised for sticking up with Gunn. No, we have the rain scene, the rain training that DC Talk is telling about. It's telling me about earlier. We're in that part right now. We're in the 57 minutes and 53 seconds mark of the film. Soren training in the rain. Nice cinematography. This is quite epic. This is nice. So comparing Watchmen and the Sucker Punch to this movie, uh, Owl of Gahul, it's Zack Snyder progressing his films. And I don't know why people hated Sucker Punch. I enjoyed Sucker Punch when I watched it uh, years years ago, years before. Technically, this is my second watch for uh, Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Gahul. I'm still quite enjoying this film. Another Zack Snyder film that I watched only once is Sucker Punch. I need to watch it again. Yes, Jermaine, Mikey Verse Forever. Gunn don't understand Superman. Of course he don't. I think he understand a Superman concept that was phased out many years ago. Although I can't explain why uh, George Reeves Superman is more relatable to Henry Cavill's Superman rather than Christopher Reeve. Sin Havoc says Sucker Punch rubbed some people the wrong way and ruffled some people's feathers. Exactly. You're quite on the mark, Sin, because the story of Sucker Punch is all about mental illness and how uh, the doctors and the asylums mistreated their patients. That's Facts in Havoc, says DC Talk 82. That's true, that's true. This is a funny tweet from Aaron Fisher. DC Talk says I have it on Blu-ray. Sucker Punch? Yeah, that's good, man. So Aaron Fisher has posted on X that funny how it hasn't been anything about Supergirl, just the one photo, and it's forgotten. And that is going to happen with Superman L. Honestly, I think it's best just to have Superman L as a tax credit, but I think we're way past that. And the noise that generated from Zack Snyder's visit to the Warner Brothers studios, uh, DC studios, seems to cause all this ruckus. Imagine. It's all about the incoming money because everyone knows WBD is flat broke. Sharpen the battle claws to arms. Timestamp is 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 59 seconds. And the war is about to begin. Zack Snyder's theme about heroism always reminds me of Joseph Campbell's stories, where I think Zack is heavily influenced by that by the author. Zack Snyder's movie are always grander than any other uh, CBM directors. And Right. Soren just realized that the story of the Guardians are all true. It's all true. There's a sense of realism in Zack Snyder's film. The lessons are all real. Yeah, it's a trap. It's an ambush by the pure ones. Owls are bats' natural enemies. The slow mo battle between the owls and the bats here is so epic. It's a trap. They're using talons as weapons, much like in a cockfight, cock derby, where people put on bets on who will win between uh, two roosters, two cocks. It's a gambling scam. Everything. Southeast Asia has so much of those kinds of shit. Man, this these are cruel owls. Bat inbound. Yes, they are. He needs to trust his gizzard, his gut. Battle song. Nice. There's Soren's brother, Jim Sturgess, plays Soren, a born owlet and the main protagonist who loves telling the stories about the Guardians. Jim Sturgess is, I remember him in the movie Across the Universe. Man, use your gizzard. This scene is awesome. The slow mo, the slow mo part is actually helping the film run its course. Is carrying the flame, much like Prometheus stealing fire from the gods. That detail as well. And yes, man, that was a awesome scene. Boom. What tech, what technology are the owls using to trap their fellow owls? Owls versus bats. Freaking fewer ones. Guardians to battle. This scenes is giving me goosebumps. Honestly, This film is awesome. This was made in an 80 million budget, but only has a 140.1 million box office. So somehow this is considered a flop. But I consider this as an art film, so the hell with box office. Art films are films that are dependent on audiences. So even without that much box office success, the film is still really good. Battle scenes. This is like aerial dogfights. Man, Soren versus Claude. Hello, brother. Man, Metal Beak is battling Soren and the guys. Our timestamp 1 hour 19 1 hour 20 minutes and 3 seconds. Man, this is all about titles. This is Soren versus Clud. The pure ones are monsters. Metal Beak says that the strong will triumph. Sounds so much like Hitler and any other tyrant out there. Now let's define what tyrant is. Tyrant are people who wasn't democratically elected to be the leaders, but they are still the leaders. Why? Why? Because in their eyes, might makes right. That's the Nazi way. Oh man, Claude fell in the forest fire. This is so cool. Metal Beak is the next target. Sorry about the disturbance, but we have an oxygen tank delivery here at home. We we need it for my mother-in-law. All right. So they vanquished the evil. The Guardians has returned. Our timestamp is 1 hour 26 minutes and 10 seconds for this movie, and it's a time for celebration. The young guardians are introduced to the people. This is so cool. Looks like Claude is alive. And the story continues. Man, this is epic. The flight scenes, they're taking over. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. This is a great movie. Thanks, Sin. And earlier, I rated this movie as an 8 over 10. And yeah, this was so awesome. How do you rate this movie, Sin and Demain? Screenplay by John Orloff and based on the novel by uh, Kathryn Lasky. Sin Havoc rated this movie as an 8.5 out of 10. That's nice. I rated as an 8 over 10, so a little close, but it's awesome. How about you, Demain? How do you rate this film? Does this film have uh, DC Talk rated 8 or 9 for me? Man, thanks, Sin. Thanks, Demain. Does this film have a end credit scene or not? Anyway, that's it for this film. Yeah, it's lovable. That's it for this film. I enjoyed watching this, and yeah, and yes, we'll do this again. Next week, I have quite a few movies and series. Uh, Justice League, the animated series on Monday morning my time, and there's what's that movie? Uh, Wait, I forgot. I forgot what movie I was gonna do next week aside from Justice League, the animated series. Wait, this is this is an awesome movie. Fun stream. Yeah, thanks, Sin. Where is it? I'm just looking for my next week's watch-alongs. So my schedules are 12 hours in advance for you guys. So on Monday, I'll have Justice League, the animated series, season 1, episodes 1 to 3. That's Secret Origins. The next movie I'll be watching, having a watch along on Wednesday morning, is Batman Mask of the Phantasm from 1993. And of course, Friday morning, Thursday night to you guys is Fate and Comics number 18 with Bishop. So, yeah. See you guys when I see you. And, yeah. Cell is the way. Mikey verse forever.
Because I saved them.
Well, that's why I waited until you were there. I got the information I needed. No one died. I did it your way.
He does have a point.
I know it got lost in all the confusion, but we still have some issues to settle here. There are only heroes and there are villains.
You think yourself a hero, but you would let these criminals go free.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.